Hey guys, I want to talk about Shantae. You know, Shantae was always one of my favorite video game franchises ever. I like it because of its fun gameplay, the cute characters, and the badass soundtrack. So in this video, I just want to go underneath the legacy of the first Shantae game to really let you guys know why I love the franchise so much, and hopefully y'all guys can see why. So without further ado, let's get into the creation of Shantae. Shantae was created back in 1994 by Aaron Bozon and Matt Bozon. Aaron named her creation after one of her campers back in the day when she used to be a camp counselor. She was so inspired by the name that she even drew the earliest concepts of Shantae. As you can see, Shantae still has her iconic ponytail and her hair and pants. She showed the sketches to Matt Bozon, which loved the character creation so much that he decided to flesh out the mythology of Shantae. Shantae can use her ponytail as her primary weapon, and she has the ability to transform into different animals. Matt Bozon liked this idea so much that he decided to pitch the idea to WayForward. WayForward is a video game company. They are known for making quality licensed games like Mickey Mouse, SpongeBob, and Adventure Time. Originally, Shantae was supposed to be developed for PC and PlayStation, with fully 3D environments, along with traditional handmade animated characters. But WayForward decided to greenlight the Game Boy version of the game instead. During the game's development, Shantae became so big and so complex that it requires a 4 MB of RAM and a battery pack to run it properly, which made it very expensive to produce. Not just that, but it also made it very hard for WayForward to find a publisher to publish the game. They tried years and years of trying to find publishers. Again, it's not like publishers were scared of a new IP, but they were also looking into the expenses of the game. It wasn't until later on, and years down the future, that Capcom eventually picked up the game for release. One of the reasons why Capcom even put up with the game was because it reminded them of Mega Man in some way. Like Shantae and Mega Man has similar gameplay to one another. You know, speaking of gameplay, let's transition into the gameplay of Shantae. Shantae is an action-adventure platformer and a Metrovania game where you play as a half-genie heron named Shantae. Shantae is a guardian of a harbor town named Scuttletown. Scuttletown was attacked by pirates and the pirates' leader Risky Boots. Risky Boots wants to use Shantae's uncle's steam engine to turn it into a doomsday device. It is up to Shantae to stop her. Throughout the game, you will encounter different types of enemies in various locations. You can defeat them with your hair whip attack, or you can use magical abilities too. But that's not all. You can explore labyrinths. Each labyrinth has its own gimmick. For example, the first one has totem poles that you have to memorize to get keys. The second has a magnetic gimmick. Shantae might be an action platformer, but it's also a bit of a puzzle game that makes the players think when they go through the labyrinths. Each labyrinth holds a guardian genie that guards the labyrinth. When you rescue the genie, she grants you magical abilities to transform into different animals. Like the monkey can make you jump super high and climb up walls, or the elephant that grants you abilities to plow through stumps and rocks. Not only these are fun power-ups, but they are also used to traverse through the game, unlock shortcuts, and unlock little secrets as well. Since this game is Ultra Metrovania game, it teases the player about getting this new item, but they can't reach it yet. It is not until later on throughout the game they have an ability to get that special item. This to me is fun gameplay and level design because it encourages the player to explore the world with their new powers. With the new powers, to find special items throughout the game, like heart holders, which gives you an extra heart, like baby squids, which gives you the ability to teleport yourself to different towns around the map. Or you can find secret rooms, which has lots of gems inside. With these gems, you can go down to any store in any town. You can go right ahead and purchase items like health potions or thunderclouds. With the overworld, it's more of a traditional platformer. you having to jump between platforms and also hit enemies along the way. And it also features a day and night cycle, which is something that's very unique to the Shantae game. The night cycle is not only just for a cute little aesthetic, but it also tells the player that things are going to get a little bit crazy because the night cycle buffs enemies, making them harder to defeat. Not only the night cycle provides a little challenge to the player, but it also spawns in fireflies. You collect 12 of them and then you unlock a little secret too. So it may be a little bit difficult to traverse through the night cycle in Shantae, but it's also very rewarding the player for exploring through the world at nighttime to find fireflies, and when you defeat enemies, it gives you a higher gem count. To touch a little bit more about the Shantae overworld, each location has its own little theme with its own little enemies and its own little soundtrack to accompany by it. Not only is it cool to see different locations, but it also helps the player to identify where they're at so they don't get lost in the game. But it's not only the overworld that just have these unique gimmicks to them, it's also the towns as well. Each town is different by its color palettes and by its music and by the civilians. For one, in Zombie Caravan, all of the civilians are zombies. And Bandit Town is full of all of these bandits and thieves. It really helps to make the Shantae world feel more alive, like a live breathing world. But you know what else is very unique to the Shantae games that I found really endearing and very charming? The characters for me really does stand out in the Shantae franchise compared to any other video game franchise that I've seen so far. Character designs are great, the animations are great, everything about this game really does stand out to me amongst any other Game Boy Color games. Once you defeat Risky Boots in the final bout, Shantae goes into the Genie realm after saving the 4 genies that you have saved throughout your adventure. They gave her a chance to become a full genie, but she declined the offer because she wants to save her friends. And that's the end of Shantae 1, a very entertaining with its incredible presentation and great characters and great animation, and a great soundtrack to top it off to really make this game a classic. But how did it do among sales and critics? Unfortunately, the game did poorly in sales. It's rumored it only made 20 to 25,000 copies. One of the reasons why it sold so poorly is because Capcom held the game for 8 months after completion. And not just that, but Shantae released at the tail end of the Game Boy Color's lifespan. It came out a year after the Game Boy Advance, which has stunted the game's sales. While Shantae didn't do fantastic on sales, it done great with critics. IGN gave Shantae a 9 out of 10 rating, saying, quote, "Wonderful platform adventure." And another one saying from IGN, quote, "Looks fantastic as a Game Boy Color game." Although Shantae didn't do good on sales, it made up with its critics and it gained a cult following with that. And with that, that is the end of this video. This video is just to tell you guys why I like Shantae so much and why she's one of my favorite video game franchises ever. Through its incredible characters, amazing soundtrack, and excellent level design, everything in Shantae really does stand out to me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you like it, feel free to like and subscribe as well. Maybe I can turn this into a little series, who knows. But thank you so much for watching. Take care.